Hi everyone, this is Mahmoud Sheikh, and in today's video we will discuss about one of the important concepts of object-oriented programming approach, which is class member visibility. Okay, so I have listed down some points. With the help of these points we will try to understand this concept. Okay, so what is this concept is all about? Class member visibility. Okay, so when we write the programs using object-oriented approach, we use data members and member functions. We use data members to store the data, and we make use of member functions to operate on that data. Okay, so we will be storing sensitive information inside these data members, so we should have some mechanism which provides security to these data members, because as I have told, these data members will be storing some sensitive information, and we should not disclose these sensitive information to any other program or to any other class. We have to protect these sensitive information which we have stored inside our data members in a safe place, so that any other class who doesn't have access to these data members should not even attempt to access these data members. And how we can do that? We can secure our data members by using class member visibility. We can allow certain data members to be visible to certain part of our code. We can specify within our program that this part of our code, these data members, I want to be accessed by other class. We can specify in our program that this piece of code or these data members I want to be accessed by some other function within the class or outside the class. Okay, so we can design the program in such a way where we can specify this part of my code needs to be accessed by other class, and this part of my code should not be accessed by any other class. That I can perform using access specifiers. Okay, and these access specifier comes under class member visibility. Okay, so with this concept I'm setting up the visibility for my data members and member function. So I hope you have understood class member visibility. Okay, so here I have listed down some points, so now let us discuss these points. Now the first point says a class member cannot have an arbitrary access. Okay, so here what this first point saying is, whenever we create a class we declare data members and member functions, and access to these data members and member functions should not be arbitrary. Okay, it should not be happen that any function within a class or a function from any other class can easily get access to my data members. Okay, there should be a controlled manner by which any other function within the class or any other function outside the class needs to get access to that data member. Okay, so there has to be a controlled access to each and every data member and member function. Next point, there is a controlled access to each and every member in a class to provide security for data members in object oriented programming. Okay, so that's what I said. Okay, so it should not be happen that each and every function of that class and any other class can have the equal access to all my data members and member functions. Okay, I can allow access to my data members to specific member functions which are in one class, or I can restrict access to my data members of any functions from any other class. Okay, next point, information hiding prevents the function of a C++ program from accessing directly the internal representation of a class type. Okay, so now what are the internal representation of a class type? These data members and member functions are the internal representation of a class, and we need to prevent this information, we need to hide all this information from being accessed by any unauthorized class, and information hiding allows us to do that. Information hiding means using appropriate access control mechanisms, which are access specifiers. Next, this means that data is hidden within a class so that it cannot be accessed by functions outside the class. Okay, so now with the use of proper access control mechanism, we can hide our data within the class so that our important data should not be accessed by any other class. Okay, so for allowing that security, we have various member access specifiers. Okay, actually we have three member access specifiers in C++, which are public, private, and protected. Okay, so now let us discuss the first access specifier, which is public access specifier. Okay, a data member or member function declared as public can be accessed from anywhere within a program. Okay, whatever data members are declared as public, all these data members can be easily accessed by all the functions within that program. I might have created one class, or I might have created more than one class within that program. Each and every class can now get access to the data members which I have declared inside public access specifier. Okay, so now the next access specifier is private access specifier. A data member or member function declared as private can be accessed from within the class. Okay, so whatever data members I declared inside private access specifier, these data members can only be accessed by other member functions which I have declared inside the same class. No other member functions from any other class can get access to the data members which I have declared inside private section of a class. A private member of a class can be accessed only by the member functions of that class. Okay, as I have already told you that if I have declared any data member under private access specifier, these data members can only be accessed by the member functions of only that class. They can also be accessed by the friends of that class. Okay, apart from the member functions of that class, other classes who have become the friend of that class can also access these data members. Okay, now the last access specifier is private access specifier. It is a member access specifier and comes into picture when we deal with inheritance. Okay, so whenever we are dealing with the inheritance concept, where some of the properties of a base class needs to be inherited into the derived class, at that situations we make use of this private access specifier. Next point, when an original class or a base class is being inherited to another class called the derived class, there is a need of specifying the access control mechanism for the members of the derived class. Okay, so as I have told you that whenever we inherit one class from any other class, at that time we might be setting up some access control to our various data members. At that time we can make use of this private access specifier. Okay, next point, there may be any number of private, public, and protected sections. Okay, so within a class I can create many private, public, and protected sections to declare my data members and member functions. Next point, usually we write private members first and then the public members. Okay, so normally when we write the program, we start declaring private data members or member functions first, then we start declaring the public data members. Okay, so it's not compulsory that you always need to use private data members first. You can use public data members as well before you use the private data members. Okay, now the last point, protected access specifier is used to declare derived class members. Okay, so as I have told you that whenever we are dealing with the concept of inheritance, at that time we can make use of this protected access specifier to declare the derived class data members. Okay, so this is everything about access specifiers or class member visibility. Okay, so I hope you understood what is class member visibility and the various types of access specifiers in C++ and the use of these access specifiers. Okay, so that's all for this video. I hope you understood each and every point of this video. Okay, if you like this video, click on like button, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. And thanks for watching.